Hong Kong, a financial hub, a gateway between East and West, a sea of neon lights and skyscrapers. It's an island of more than 7 million people that goes 24/7.
It's also the showcase event of the Sevens World Series and a highlight of the entire rugby calendar. It has to be seen to be believed. Welcome to Rugby Sevens Worldwide.
But let's calm things down a bit with a little history lesson. The Sevens World Series and the sport in general owe this former British colony a great deal. The first Sevens game was played here in 1976 after the sport was imported by British expats living on the island.
I'm in my 16th year.
One man who played a key role in establishing the Sevens game here was Brian Stevenson, the current president of the Hong Kong Rugby Football Union.
It started in the early 70s. There were several guys sitting in the bar who said we should have an international tournament, and we tried to get a 15-a-side. You need permission from the rugby authorities. They were not in favour of this. So they went ahead and said, well, if you can't have 15s, let's have sevens. And so that led to the first sevens in 1976.
After that first tournament, the game developed rapidly, with countries in the region eager to send teams to play sevens. Squads from Japan, Fiji and even Sri Lanka landed on the shores of Hong Kong every year to compete for the title.
Did you ever think that it would become the success story back then that it is now today?
Absolutely not. And it was the quality of the players we got and the interest we got. Particularly started with the Southern Hemisphere, and then the Northern Hemisphere were the last to come in with full international sides. But all the best players in the world wanted to come here.
Pieter Schats was a key player on the Hong Kong team and a former captain of the side between 1988 and 1994. And he saw firsthand how popular the sport was becoming.
I think the Sevens is more than just a rugby event now. It's sort of a gathering of old friends, and you know, we really look forward to it every year. I think if we go back to where it was, 30 years ago or so, and where it is today, I think it's been a catalyst for the development of the game in Asia in particular. It started out as a predominantly an Asian development program for rugby sevens to develop across Asia. I think Hong Kong has played some element in getting rugby to the Olympic Games.
And you must have many memories, but is there one in particular that still resonates today with you, that still stands out the most?
I think playing Fiji in the quarterfinal of the sevens in 1989 was probably the highlight. Again playing against players like Ndruku, Tumasikama, Waisale Serevi.
A watershed year for sevens in Hong Kong was when the island hosted the Sevens World Cup in 1997. The tournament was won then by Fiji and ushered in an era of dominance by the players from the Pacific Island, and for one man in particular, for whom Hong Kong is a second home.
Serevi kicks through, it's on his own. Yes, a superb try.
It's a lottery. Sammy, Serevi, look out Australia. Serevi has done it again.
What is the atmosphere like here when you step out onto the field for a player? What runs through your body before the game?
I start to get goosebumps when you talk about the atmosphere in Hong Kong, because I look straight to the tunnel, because when you're about to enter and play here, it's like the Gladiator, whatever. The atmosphere here is so great, and I always want to come here. When you run onto the field, even when you're tired, it gives you more energy, and you want to perform and you want to play in front of the crowd.
Talk me through, if you will, that famous 2007 try against New Zealand, because we're here on the field where it happened.
We always have good competition with New Zealand. I stepped one, and then after I tried the other one. When I stepped, he too fell. Then I damaged my way, and then they all went. Then I went through the middle. And then we did a switch. The same time when I caught the ball, I changed angle again. Then I was like holding the ball, and the boys were like chasing me. Go, there's someone chasing. So that I went and scored the try. I played rugby for 21 years at international level. Here I did a lot of amazing things. 7 Rugby World Cups. 1, 2 as a captain. On this ground, I can say that I need to build a house on that hill so that I can stay there and watch the rest of the rugby over all these years. It's amazing, and I'm always excited to come to Hong Kong, and I always look forward to coming to Hong Kong.
Serevi always loved playing in front of a festive audience unique to the Hong Kong Sevens. After the break, we get a chance to meet some of the people responsible for creating that atmosphere, the passionate fans and their crazy costume capers. Sporting locations around the world that make the bucket list of sports fans worldwide. For tennis fans, it's Wimbledon. For football fans, it's the Bernabeu. But for Hong Kong Sevens fans, it's this place, the South Stand at the Hong Kong Stadium. And if you're wondering why I'm dressed like Pocahontas, take a look at this.
For these fans, dressing up is part and parcel of the Hong Kong Sevens. And everyone here knows that if you're looking for something to make you stand out from the crowd, there's only one place to go. Winding its way through the heart of the city is Pottinger Street. It's a one-stop shop for Sevens fans packed with costumes of every imaginable shape, colour and theme. Dion has been running a fancy dress stall here for 10 years and has had many strange requests in her time.
我哋年年有人做，有啲做骰仔啦。 嗰啲牌啊，嗰啲橋牌啊，骰仔啦，同埋舊年嘅 Rugby 嗰個鴨啊，膠鴨咧，同埋壽司，舊年嘅壽司好大件嘅，全部都係我哋做。
Inside her shop is an Aladdin's cave for fancy dress, from the sublime to the saucy.
That certainly might poke someone's eye out in the South Stand.
And it didn't take long until I was completely drawn in.
This is where things get a little chaotic. A wedding hat and a Pocahontas outfit. All right, here we go. Ta-da! What do you think? The final touch. I'm actually really enjoying this. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I
While I certainly wasn't prepared to go the whole hog, out on the street there was plenty of horsing about, as people stopped by on their lunch break to pick out their outfits.
All about accessories. We're going as Thunderbirds.
I see.
So I need something to attach my string to.
Okay. How many years have you been going to the Rugby Sevens?
35. When I was younger, it was just sort of shorts and then skimpy t-shirts. Now it's a cover-up job.
So 300 for the outfit.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
One such group looking to turn heads are these foxy ladies.
So there's about 38 of us, all going dressed as foxes.
So a couple of years ago we went as jellyfish. We had these massive jellyfish heads lit up at night. And on the Sunday, we didn't know it was happening, but there was a competition and we won it.
Dressed to impress, the girls head off to the stadium. But this year, they'll face some stiff competition.
Was impressive enough. The view from the stands was equally entertaining as the action was hard fought and frenetic. With a roundup of all the results, here's our field report.
In a wet and wild Hong Kong stadium, Japan and Italy were fighting it out in the qualifier tournament, a competition unique to Hong Kong where teams vie for a place as a core team in next season's Sevens World Series. Japan took control from the start with 2 quick tries by Yusaku Kuwasura. And a fine solo effort by the captain Katsuyuki Sakai, giving the Cherry Blossoms a 19-0 lead going into the break. The Italians tried to rally in the second half with their efforts yielding a late try from Fabrizio Sepe. But with the match secure, Kosuke Hoshino intercepted a pass and charged through for what was a certain try, launching himself into an elegant swan dive, but the outcome was anything but majestic. With a resounding 26-5 victory, Japan will be sitting at the Sevens top table next season. And in the cup final, New Zealand and England went head-to-head, with Gordon Tetchins and his team looking to secure top spot in the rankings with a win. The All Blacks took control from the first whistle, Ben Lamb jumping and spinning out of 2 tackles to touchdown. And Tim Mickelson dancing through England's defence before going over under the posts. In the second half, New Zealand continued their dominance with captain DJ Forbes getting a 3rd score. A tide of pressure told as New Zealand added a 4th try, this time from Sam Dixon, that put the result beyond doubt. New Zealand ran out the rest of the game, easing to a 26-7 victory. And despite the soggy weather, spirits weren't dampened as the Hong Kong crowd were all set for the famous Maori dance. You can see more features about the Sevens World Series on our website at cnn.com/rugby.